Welcome back to the Thomas Galgani Show. Today, we have a special guest who's been on before, my brother, Steven. And today, we're actually at his house in a room called the study, that we call the study. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this room?
This is just the room was already here when we moved in, but we picked out like the carpet, this coffee table here, and then all the stuff that you see on the shelves. On the left-hand side, it's like classic literature, just some old books. I'll admit it's not all stuff that I've read through, but I plan to at some point. And then on the right side, you have like cocktail books and stuff like that for just to make it a little fun and lighthearted. And then just a few prints as well on the walls that we put up. But this is just a fun room to come and hang out, have some good conversations in.
For sure. So, yeah, and our grandmother lived here beforehand. I hope you don't mind me saying that, but it was a very nice room, like you said, before you guys even moved in here. But I know you said you haven't gotten through all of these books, but I'm curious, was there any thought behind the exact classics that you picked and like why you wanted to have some of these books for this room?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's like the Harvard classics here. Those were our grandfathers on our dad's side, and they just looked good, and so I put those up for that reason. And then above the cigar box is a gothic horror collection from it's from Juniper Books. They do like special book covers and stuff like that. I've read most of those. I kind of enjoy those books, and they all take place in rooms kind of like this, so I thought it'd just be kind of a fun thing to add. And then I have Treasure Island just open to one of the pictures where the pirates are crossing over the fence. I think I just put that up because it's fun. I like pirates. Who doesn't? So obviously I like treasure too, so that's super fun. And then the rest of the stuff is just more like stuff that I want to read that I haven't yet, so I figured I'd put it up as a constant reminder that I need to read that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And today, we were thinking that we could talk about a story that was kind of cool when you and I went to New York City. This was already almost 9 years ago.
Wow, it was 2015?
15.
Wow.
Yeah, 2015. I was thinking about that when I wrote the newsletter. By the time this episode comes out, hopefully all of my newsletters will be posted as blog posts. So, feel free to click the link in the description to check that out. But I figured we could kind of hear your side of it as well. Basically, I finished up a foreign language program, like an immersion program on the East Coast, and then you and I wanted to meet up in New York City while we were already out there, and we had kind of had this infatuation, I guess, with the speakeasy scene. One of the bars in New York City called Employees Only, after the documentary Hey Bartender. It was really cool. We went there. We even got to meet one of the stars. He served us, was our bartender, and we went there. I think it was twice, or was it three times in that weekend?
I think it was just twice.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So, so basically we went there, and Manhattan, New York is a really cool place to me. I haven't been there lately. I don't know what it's like now, but at the time it was awesome. Just kind of the culture about it, and that whole scene, different languages being spoken, different cultures, and the cocktail scene was just incredible. It was amazing. It's like I think it was $18 cocktails. So it was a lot, but it was a lot of fun. Do you have anything you wanted to share from your perspective, what that day was like? I got to say something real quick too, because when we first got there, I looked over at Steve and he looked so just in the zone. I looked over at him and he was like, I looked over at you. And you were just kind of quiet. And then you're like, can't believe we're here. Like,
I know, it's cool.
Because we walked in right as they were setting up still. And yeah, it was just a cool moment. So what was that like for you though? Like, I know we've talked about it a little bit, but it's been a little while. What do you remember being the most significant about that trip?
I mean, employees only was the most significant thing. I think just because we had built it up so much too. And it's kind of rare when you build up a place that much in your head and then you go and then it doesn't disappoint at all. So
it lives up to the expectations.
Yeah, I think that's pretty hard to do. Like you mentioned, it was almost 9 years ago. I mean, so I was 23 or 24.
Yeah.
I hadn't really gone to that many bars that were that nice. So it was kind of like, it was a whole bunch of factors that led to me looking in the zone, like you said. No, it's just super cool. I don't think that was like employees only, but then a lot of places that we went to also, just kind of like the highest level of hospitality that I don't think I'd really experienced before. So I thought it was super fun.
Okay. So hospitality, and would you say the quality of the cocktails was very high too?
Yeah, no, they're great.
And just the ambiance. Yeah. Would you say that kind of helped influence or inspire this room that you've put together here too?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, not completely, because it's just a different room than what the bar is there. I think if anything, I looked into, like, when I was putting together this room, I looked into like different design styles and stuff like that. And for employees only, I think it's mostly like Art Deco kind of vibe that they have going on.
Oh, okay.
So like a lot of straight lines and big faces and stuff like that, which kind of matches like what you see on the clock over there.
Oh yeah.
Like the way that the lines are oriented, and then you got like the big moon face and stuff like that.
And even the walls too.
Yeah.
And some of the art. Do you have a name for this skeleton?
Well, I mean, it's kind of debating whether or not we were going to pick that one, because
was Katie opposed to it?
No, she was actually the one who recommended that.
Oh. Okay.
Mainly because it's actually like a Van Gogh.
Yeah, I know
it's
that
not
one.
an original, but it's just because you kind of see it all over the place, and I didn't want this room to look like I just picked stuff out of a gift shop and put it up, you know?
Okay.
But when I looked into like why I guess that skeleton is something that everybody back then would paint in art school, and a lot of people interpret you're not supposed to put the cigarette isn't like part of the art class, I guess, but Van Gogh, I guess, put the cigarette in. A lot of people think because he wanted to express how he wasn't that serious about his health, and he just wanted to have a good time or something. So I thought it kind of fit with the vibe of this room. Like, if we're in here, we're probably gonna have a cocktail.
Yeah. We're not serious about our health in this room.
Yeah. No.
It's about the experience.
Not at all. Yeah. And then for employees only, there's actually their cocktail book is up there too. It's the one that says Speakeasy.
Oh, for some reason, I didn't even know that was their cocktail book. I thought that was a different one. Like, I know, because you have the it's called PDT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got that one too.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, man. Well, yeah, like I said, thank you so much for letting me come in here and do the show in here today. And one of the other topics I was thinking that we could start, that you and I have kind of talked about, is movies. You know, just talking about different movies. We love movies. One of my biggest inspirations to, start a video business and even a podcast, honestly, because I feel like the way that podcasts are filmed now are such high quality. Like some of them, Chris Williamson, he has like the LED background now, and I guess it was the first ever podcast to go live with 5 cameras and that kind of set, just the most elaborate setup ever. And I think it's cool to see just that they're pushing the envelope with all that. But anyways, on the entertainment side of things, we were talking about The Gentleman. I love that show.
Yeah.
I haven't told you that yet because I wanted us to kind of first talk about it. What do you think about it so far?
I think it's great so far. We're only 3 episodes in, but like recently we've been going to sleep kind of early, but for that we started watching that show this past week, and we kind of stayed up a little bit later just to make sure we got a few episodes in.
To complete the assignment I gave you.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't get us far, but you know how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, but I mean, like, because I like it for a lot of different reasons. The cinematography, the accents aren't as thick as I'm used to in Guy Ritchie films.
Yeah.
So I can understand what's going on, but I wonder if that was intentional, by the way. I wonder if the Netflix producers or whoever were like, we got to tone this down a little bit.
Yeah, can you tone down your Britishness?
But it's so cool, though. Like, just the way it's filmed. And I think it's well done. But what do you think is cool? Even though you're only 3 episodes in, maybe for this, in case people haven't seen it yet, we'll try to avoid any spoilers, but what are some elements that you're comfortable sharing that kind of you like about it the most?
Yeah, I just kind of like well, for one, I like being in that environment. It's kind of nice.
What environment?
Like the environment of the show, as far as like they only film it in like really nice scenery, like it's either the beautiful countryside or the mansion that they're in, or other nice places around London. So it's just kind of cool to like, you feel kind of immersed in that world. And then I like all the characters. There's like the one, the older brother who's like kind of
the cocaine addict.
Yeah. His character seems like a little bit of a cliche to me, because in every family show or movie about like a rich family, there's always like one son who's just like lost it completely. Maybe that's how it is in real life. I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say that in every family there's that guy, like
but I like the show. Like the story's good, and it seems like the characters do things that seem realistic given the situation that they're in. I'm a big fan of The Godfather, like the original one. If we ever get a movie theater set up in this room, that'll probably be the first thing I watch.
Like with a projector.
Yeah.
On the screen. Nice.
Work in progress though. Got to save up for that. But this show seems to have taken like a little bit from that, just in the sense that it's like the younger son who was in the military that comes back, and then he has to like take over the family business. Yeah, it's a little more comical than The Godfather was, but it has like those same elements that I enjoy. So, and it seems to like nail it in a way where it's a familiar plot line that you can relate to, but it's also new and fresh.
Yeah, for sure. And it's taken a lot of turns. We're 6 episodes in now, and you'll see a lot of different twists and good kind of turns in the story. So I won't give any of it away, but yeah, it's a good one for sure.
I like the Gentleman movie too, by the way. I know you didn't care as much for that one.
Is that the one they're like
with Matthew McConaughey?
Oh yeah, that was Guy Ritchie too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. It just didn't do it for me.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, but
it was cool aesthetically. I liked the way it looked, but I just, yeah, for some reason I thought it was a little, I don't know, just wasn't a huge fan. I was like expecting there to be more depth to it as opposed to just kind of just like raw action, like just assuming that because somebody says something it's like super cool, like, oh, there's Matthew McConaughey yelling my wife, like it's like I don't know, it just was kind of unidimensional to me, like just not very, just not a lot to it, I guess I would say. But
yeah, I enjoyed it even with all that.
And you thought it was well done too, though, like in a good, did you like the storyline though?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing too that I like about all the recent Guy Ritchie movies is that he, for whatever reason, incorporates his like custom barbecue in all of his movies now. It seems like, because there's like a whole scene. There's a whole scene in the. I think I heard Joe Rogan talking about it too. Like he's got this great barbecue. I don't know. It's funny, but
it's his own. It's Guy Ritchie's.
Yeah, he like designed it. But it's like this huge setup. There's like a whole scene in The Gentleman, the movie, when he's like explaining it. He's like, "Oh, you got Wagyu on a smokeless barbie, and keep your feet warm." And then there's that whole scene, and then it's in another movie. It's another movie with Jason Statham that I actually really liked too. You should watch that one.
Which one was that?
It's a Guy Ritchie one. It's Operation Fortune.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Is it recent?
Yeah, I think it came out either last year or the year before.
Nice.
No, I think we've watched it 2 or 3 times now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one. We can talk about that later after you've watched it.
Yeah.
But there's the barbecue scene in that movie, and then again in this show, there's like the scene when they go visit that girl's dad, and he's like sitting at the, you know what I'm talking about? They're like in the snow.
No, wait. You're talking about the newer one, right?
Yeah, in the show, there's like when they go visit the girl's dad.
Oh, in The Gentleman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And he's like,
oh yeah, and that's that one actor. Who's
from
in
like
the
the
new
Departed.
Point Break.
Yeah,
and the Departed.
I don't think he's known for being in the new Point Break, but
but yeah, he was in the Departed. That was
Yeah.
probably his, at least for me, his best known, like kind of popular role for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that barbecue scene where they're like grilling in the snow, that's like the famous like Guy Ritchie barbecue.
Oh, okay.
But when you look at it on screen, I'm always thinking like, man, that looks like a lot to set up. So it's probably like a whole thing when he goes into production. He has like probably has like a whole team that sets up his barbecue or something.
He's got the
or maybe he does it himself. I don't know.
The director of photography, the sound guy, the grips, and then he's got the grill guy, the barbecue guy.
Yeah. No, I just think that's kind of interesting that he always like throws that in there, because I don't think you can buy it. It's just kind of like rubbing it in our faces that he's got this sweet custom. No, I don't mean it like that, but it's just kind of funny, like
maybe he's going to sell it.
Maybe,
or
yeah.
maybe you can get it.
That'd be cool. I'd buy one if we had room for it in the back, but maybe we will someday. Yeah, and then we can film a podcast out on it
while we're grilling.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, man.
Grillcast.
What kind of coffee are we drinking?
Just a simple Pete's roast. Pete's dark roast, Major Dickinson blend.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that one.
It's good. I think it always comes back to movies, but who's that? Zack Snyder. You know who that is?
No.
He's the guy. You should probably familiarize yourself with like some of these guys, because he He directed like the new Superman movies.
New Superman. Oh yeah,
I know
that's probably why
I know that's not your thing.
That's probably why
he made
know.
300.
Yeah, still.
Okay,
it's all right.
But you know what 300 is, though.
Yeah, no,
okay.
I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool. Yeah,
that's
his movie.
Yeah, that's him. And I think I was watching some interview with him. It was like one of those things where they like it's on Men's Health where they like show their gym and fridge or whatever, and he pulls out like the same Pete's roast, and he's like, it's got to be this like every day or can't drink it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny.
It was Major Dickinson.
Yeah.
Oh nice.
He's like, if I buy something else, my wife is like, what is this? This isn't Major Dickinson.
Oh wait, so it's not him, it's his wife?
They both drink it.
They both, yeah. Okay.
I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting, everybody always gets hung up on though, is that the dark roast is less caffeinated than the light roast. I've heard people talk about that too, where it's just like anything, the more you burn something, the more it degrades. So it's makes enough sense to me why that's the case. But I think a lot of people are always surprised by that because when it's dark and like thick like that, really heavy, they just expect to get more of a kick out of it. But I'm definitely more of a dark roast kind of coffee drinker, but I love the caffeine. But every now and then you got to mix it up. You got to get like a nice light roast too. Do you like single origin or the blends better? What is that?
I mean, I don't go into the store looking for like single origin just because that's normally pretty expensive. I just get I normally just stick to the blends.
I think it's the same. Like from a brand like Pete's or something, or even Starbucks or something. I think it's the same, isn't it?
I don't know. I guess.
So you haven't thought about that?
Yeah, I haven't done like a deep dive into like my intake of single origin light roast or whatever. I know they always ask me that if I go to a place like Temple or something, which I appreciate, but it's like, oh, do you have a preference on the espresso? It's like, no, I don't. I do not.
Yeah. What's the boxing painting again that you have up there?
Can't remember the artist's name, but hey, I'm not an encyclopedia. I just thought it looked cool, and it takes place in the 20s or so, same as the two behind you. I think these are all three the same artist.
Okay.
Alan, our uncle, he was here for Easter, and I showed him that. He used to be a boxer, and he pointed out that I think he enjoyed looking at it a little bit because he has one similar at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. But he also pointed out something that I didn't even notice before is that's like a depiction of like an illegal boxing ring, and you can tell because there's no ropes. And I never noticed that, so it's kind of like a cool little tidbit.
Almost like a speakeasy bar. It's like
exactly
a speakeasy boxing match.
Yeah.
Punch easy. No, that was bad. That was bad. What would it be? It would be no, it'd still be speakeasy because it's not like they say drink easy. God.
Yeah.
Damn it, Steve.
They have a scene like that in the Gentleman too, right?
Yeah.
When they go to the boxing ring.
Oh yeah, I think so.
That'd be fun to go to a place like that if I could like know that I wasn't gonna get killed or something.
Yeah. No, that's that's
gotta
a good
watch
point.
out for that.
Hold that thought. Quick pause. I'm gonna reset the cameras real quick.
Okay.
Okay. And we're back. All right. So let's get into it. Let's go back into it. So the illegal boxing match. that piece of artwork. Wait, what's that one with the girl at the bar?
I don't think there's any significance to it, but eventually I plan to put a bar where that closet is. And so I wanted some kind of a depiction of a bar next to it so people get the idea. Yeah.
Is there any significance of the woman sitting there?
No. Just, the atmosphere. You took the photos, by the way, that are the roses, and then there's the one of the light post. Those were pulled from your collection.
Yeah, some of these are mine.
It was when you were just getting started, so I just wanted to help you out. Figured I'd get those for you.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool, man. Like, I liked taking those. I feel like that's one of the photos that I feel like are the closest to street photography that I've done. Mm-hmm. Even though there aren't, I don't have a lot of people, which like some people will even debate like that's not even street photography if you're not taking pictures of strangers. But when COVID happened, that was kind of a big topic because you'd have to be able to go out and take pictures of stuff without people, because during the lockdowns and stuff like that, a lot of times like there would be no people to go out and shoot. But yeah, man, I find that stuff interesting. That's like one of the relaxing things I like, even though I don't personally like doing it, like just taking pictures of strangers. It's a little uncomfortable. It's just, it's not just because it's uncomfortable. It's like, I don't know. I guess it's something I've never delved into, but I like watching that. Like you can turn on like a 2 to 3 hour YouTube video of, like Roman Fox is, I think he's a British guy who's got super good street photography, and he does like, it's like relaxing, street photography, like montage, like a montage of like, it's the footage of him going through, like, so he's got like a GoPro or something on, and then he'll also show the still frames, the stills. So I think that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah. So what else besides The Gentleman have you been watching?
Not much. Yeah, just been working and stuff like that, and also with Jacob and everything, it's like kind of hard to. We just haven't put a lot of time into like watching stuff, but I like the shows. It's crazy how much better shows have gotten, just the production value and like all the money that goes into shows now compared to how it used to be. Like something like The Gentleman is that, I mean, that it's basically 10 hours straight or whatever it is of
and
like,
it's like movie quality.
Yeah, high level, super high production value stuff. I'm impressed, honestly. Like when I watch something like that, I'm just like, geez, it's impressive to me for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Even the shows that aren't that good or that I don't even like, you can tell the production value is still pretty good, and there's a lot of effort that goes into it for sure.
Yeah, we haven't been watching anything else either. I think we kind of rewatched some of the old X-Men movies with the kids.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of fun.
The first ones with like when Hugh Jackman was first.
Yeah, and Wolverine, Patrick Stewart. Yeah, those are good. Those actually are pretty good. I thought they were going to be like super cheesy, because they were made over 20 years ago.
You mean you thought they were going to seem cheesy to you when you were going back watching them?
Yeah. And I mean, there's parts where, it's but they're still very enjoyable movies. And then I guess Hugh Jackman is coming back for like one more Wolverine movie.
He's doing one more? Okay.
Yeah, with Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds.
I heard he turned down James Bond for like the Wolverine, to keep doing the Wolverine movies, I think.
Did he? I don't know.
I could be totally wrong about that, but I think I heard a clip of him on the Howard Stern show where it's almost like he kind of compared it to something like the Secret Service is like they don't want to ask you and then you say no. And so they basically gave him like a cute, like, if we were to ask you, would you be interested in this? Like, some, like from a person who knows another person who knows a guy, like,
yeah.
And I think he said no, was the story, was that he turned it down or something like that. I can't remember, but there was some big, I could be wrong about that. I think Daniel Craig just took it before he did or something like that, but he was definitely involved in the discussion. I thought that was,
but he's Australian though, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
he's James Bond's got to be British.
Well, maybe
that'd be like me playing James Bond. It wouldn't work.
I think because if you're Australian, you're closer.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
You're closer. If you're Australian, you're closer to being British, right? Than an American.
I don't know. I think you might get some negative feedback from some Australians for this.
Yeah, no offense, guys. Whatever. I just mean like.
Yeah, no, it's all the same. No, I used to work with an Australian guy, and I think
Did he not like British people?
No, he didn't have a problem, but I think I asked him something about like the culture, and then at one point, I guess I had taken it too far when I asked him about like tea and crumpets or something. And he's like, we're not that British. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. Disregard.
Yeah, I had a class in college with an Australian guy who's pretty overt about just with all of his opinions on everything, and he didn't like the Brits for some reason. He was super like,
oh really?
He called them pricks or something. Yeah,
he
was like, no. So
yeah, that's pretty rough. Yeah, I guess they are trying to find a new James Bond though, for real. Now that Daniel Craig is retired from that role, at least.
He's officially done now.
Yeah, I liked the last movie he was in.
Oh, okay, well, because they said that like 3 times, and then and then before I knew it, they were coming out with another one. He's like, I'm back, and so I was like, God, like. It just never ends,
Yeah, well,
I guess once he sees the check, it's hard to. It's like, oh, I could do another one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think the way the last movie ended, though, he's not coming back. You didn't see the last James Bond?
I don't think so. I saw clips. That's not the Quantum of Solace. Was that the second to last one or the third to last?
No. They made like 3 more after Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, see, it's like I just what's that girl's name? That one actress who's been in a ton of stuff now. She was in that I think it's called like War Dogs or something, or
War Dogs.
She played Madonna. Anna, right, is her name or something?
Oh, yeah.
She was in a James Bond movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she was in the last one.
Okay.
Only for like one sequence though, like one
fight scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
She wasn't like a main character, but she was good in it.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I do like the Bond movies. I'll have to check them out for sure. But
it doesn't sound like you like the Bond movies.
No, I do. It's just when it gets too over. Like Casino Royale was cool because it was refreshing to just see a little bit more of a gritty take on those movies, like way more just kind of down and dirty. But I've known plenty of people whose opinions I respect were like, no, Daniel Craig is terrible because James Bond's supposed to be a suave guy, not just some quiet. Like Daniel Craig's pretty like quiet and like even keeled the entire time. So I think he's a great action star, but for what some people see James Bond, what he's supposed to be like is like he's not that role.
I know people said that when Casino Royale before it came out, but I think after it came out, most people were pretty happy with that. And then now I think he did 5 movies total. I think everybody was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was. It was enough of a success for him to keep doing them, and I personally like Daniel Craig in that role. I think those are cool movies for sure. But just the criticisms that I did hear were just that alone. That's like the only thing. I don't agree with them though, because it was just a refreshing, like I said, a refreshing take. Some people would say, like, for example, Pierce Brosnan, I think for a lot of people was like, okay, that's like the classic James Bond, or like Sean Connery, and somebody who's just more kind of suave, like they're urbane, a good action star, but also just really like suave and like kind of like they're funny too. Like there aren't really a lot of things that Daniel Craig says or does that are funny.
I don't know. He's pretty good. He's not like, he has some good one-liners in all of them, all the movies though.
Yeah. I guess that's not true. Yeah. There were definitely some funny moments. He, and just like that cold kind of delivery too is funny. Like I said, it probably sounds like I am totally not a fan of Daniel Craig in that role, but that's not true. Like, I think he's good. I just think when you compare him to some of the past James Bonds, that's what people would say, like, oh, it's not the same. It's not on the same level.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, he's freaking ripped. He's like jacked, and he's like this like slick like action star, but he's not like Pierce Brosnan or even, you know, Sean Connery or Christopher Dalton, right? Like those guys, there was like a different like tone to them, I guess, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, I think he pulls off the role of like a ruthless killer wearing a tuxedo, which I think is hard to do. He's believable in a tuxedo, and he's also believable that he could strangle somebody to death. Yeah, which is crucial for that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as we come to a close for on that note, as we come to a close for this episode, one of the things that I really liked that you were talking about, I think you quoted, it was Jordan Peterson, just the importance of having a room, at least one room in your house that you love, that's immaculate, it's clean and organized, and you like love being in there.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's this room for you.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody who wants to have as cool of a room as this? Maybe it's not on the same level, and I know you want to get it to an even bigger place, but I guess let's say like aspiring homeowners or new homeowners, do you have any advice for people who are just like the whole process, because of so much that went into this room? What would you say to somebody who kind of wants to have that one perfect room for themselves too?
I mean, I guess just get a list together of the stuff that you want, and then don't buy anything right away. Like, sit on it for a few months, just to make sure that you're still, like, if you kind of put it in your head that, okay, this is what's going to go in that room, and then you still wait a few months to buy it because you might change your mind. You want to make sure that after a few months of making that decision that you're still happy with that. So that way when you do buy it, there's no regrets.
Do you feel like you get a lot of benefit out of a room like this when it comes to having family and friends over?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's great.
Kind of connect with people a little bit more. You have people over that you can kind of just, they can relax and just feel like, better connection with them, I guess. Yeah, no, it's great. And then Katie and I come in here a lot too after the kids have gone to bed or something. We'll just have a drink or something like that. Kids can come in here too with us sometimes, but it was also with this room. I mean, it's such a unique room without any of the stuff in it that I felt like we didn't have a choice but to make it
nicer with like added furniture and stuff like that. I mean, if this turned into a playroom and there was just like crayon markings on the walls and stuff, that would be pretty depressing, I think. So
for sure, it's like you want to have that, but you also want to preserve the quality of like what this could be, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
For sure, man. All right. Well, hey, thanks again for another show. Let's do this again soon if you're down.
Yeah,
I'd love to come back here.
We'll have a cocktail next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It'll be themed.
Perhaps we can do like you can watch the next 3 James Bond movies and then we can have martinis or something.
Okay.
Or something else. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Cheers.